All right, and just like that, we are live. Welcome, guys, to a different edition of Let's Talk Awakening tonight. Tonight we have part of our Revive Us family, and we are so excited with what we just announced about, a good 30, 40 minutes ago. As you are coming in, we want you to do us a favor and start sharing this video. I'm doing it right now on my phone. As you can see, I'm on Facebook right now, and I won't be telling you to do something if I'm not doing it myself.
Mhm.
And I know the panelists will agree with me that when you preach, you have to live.
Definitely, definitely.
Can I get an amen tonight?
Amen, amen.
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 Amen. Amen.
Pull out there, Manuel. Let's go. Go ahead. That's So yeah, go ahead and start sharing this. We are so excited. I got my brother right here on my side. Right here is my brother, my friend Henry, who is part
God
of.
bless. God bless. Dios le bendiga a todos.
Yo,
I got on the other side, right next to Henry, is our brother Chris.
God bless you, my people. God bless you.
I got
Hey.
our other brother. We're not blood related, but he has my name. I gave him permission. He
no,
can-
you have my name. I'm older though.
Oh, you better
Uh
listen.
oh.
Oh, good. Listen,
Yeah.
um I'm sorry. I'm getting so yeah. I gave him permission before I was thought of to come. The Lord said, "Emanuel can use Emanuel De Jesus' first name."
Ouch.
That's fine. That's fine. God bless you, everyone.
God bless.
So I am so glad to have him, and not just him, but also our one of our advisors on our staff, and as well our music director is Izzy Music himself, Ismael Santana, who is in holiness because he has a Yankee shirt on today.
Right.
That's right. That's
On
Yeah.
the
right.
Yankees this year.
Yankees.
That guy.
Yo.
Yes.
So if you're in the comment section, let us know where you're watching us from, who you are. If you have not done so yet, follow Revive Us right now. We have a lot of updates. We have a lot of stuff coming out. Um, and let's just go into the conversation. This is an episode of Let's Talk Awakening, but Revive Us Family Edition. This is not the whole Revive Us staff. Some of them were supposed to come on, but unfortunately, for unseen circumstances, they weren't able to come on. So, but this is just part of the staff. This is not everybody. I'm just so glad that they were able to come in. For those that don't know, a few minutes ago, 30 minutes ago or so, we announced the official flyer for Revive Us 2020. Revive Us 2020 is still on August 29th of this year of 2020. Oh, there we go. Comment section from YouTube. We got Ohio in the house.
Woo.
Ohio.
High in the house.
Yeah.
Woo.
Hiyo.
Hey,
Yes.
Ohio State.
Valeria,
Ohio
Valeria from
State.
Willard, Ohio. Hey, welcome. But if you guys have not checked it out, we just posted the flyer here on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere that we will be doing revivals virtually in the same location, same state with Jessica and Priscilla Del Valle. They're going to be in worship. And as well, we have the great and phenomenal group of siblings, our brothers and sisters, the McCains, who are a phenomenal
Yes.
group. They are going to be phenomenal, and you do not want to miss it. And as well, if you did not notice, I am on the flyer as well, and that means I will be preaching the word this year. This is, if you didn't know this, and I'm gonna say it because we're all family here. This is the family. This is like the family table talk, right? This is my first time preaching at Revive Us, believe it or not. So you keep a brother in prayer because this is my first time preaching at Revive Us, and I am going to come to you. I am nervous because if you don't feel nervous, I'm gonna tell you this: it's because you probably don't got the word. But when you got something from the Lord, it's because you feel that in your belly. Amen.
Amen.
So I'm
Amen.
gonna stop talking because I don't want to talk. We're gonna go straight into the topic. And I'm gonna start off. And whoever wants to piggyback off this conversation, remember this is just a conversation, guys. The real question is, a lot of people might be asking right now, why in a pandemic should we seek a revival?
Hmm.
Okay, let me say that again. Why in a pandemic do we need a revival.
Amen. I can talk on that. Now more than ever, we need God. We need to seek Him. And throughout this pandemic, the Lord has shown us, that we need Him more and more every day. When these times times of uncertainty, times of that we feel like, we're gonna die. God is there and there's a light of hope. God, with this, revive us, and we know we're gonna have an awakening. We know we're gonna get blessed by God. So God is opening doors, and He's gonna do His perfect will in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, and not only that, but if you see in the Bible, every time that the Bible speaks about somebody awakening, to awakening to a reality, it comes with a crisis. For example, the Apostle Paul, when is on the road to Damascus, right, and Jesus comes to him, right, the revelation of Jesus comes, to wake up Paul from the reality he was living at, and it comes with a crisis. So I don't think that it's a coincidence that this year's theme is awakening, and the world right now it's in the middle of a crisis. For example, Paul, he thought he was doing something great for God by persecuting, Christians, but then he faces Jesus, and Jesus just opens his eyes, and he starts, going through this personal crisis, waking up to the reality that this Jesus he was persecuting was a real savior.
Yeah.
So the question to me is not, do we need revivals, but it's just more, maybe what is the reality that the Lord wants us to wake up now after revivals, after this crisis.
Wow.
Amen. Powerful.
And now more than ever, also with this crisis and all this coronavirus and all that, people are really, they're looking forward to something like that. They need it, and we're definitely looking forward to having this awakening coming, and with revivals and everything. So just come join us. We're all excited about it.
Definitely.
All I can say is fire is gonna come down, bro. Fire is gonna hit him hard in the sense of the spirituality. With this whole pandemic, all of this happening, a lot of people lost their faith. A lot of people thought it was the end of the world. It's not. These are the crises we're gonna go through. And this is where I don't want to say now, but since there are people that are not followers of Christ, I'm going to use that part. This is the moment where you have to realize that we need to get closer to God. We have to understand God. We need to love God. We need to know God. We need to fall in love with Him more, because once you start doing that, you're going to start having this awakening. Every awakening has a fire. Every awakening has a fire. You see, when you wake up from your bed and you feel recharged, you're ready to take on the whole world. You're ready to do a lot of things. It's the same way with God. What? When you let God be the first thing, when you let God be first priority, when you wake up, pray, read your Bible, do devotional, I'm telling you, you're gonna have an amazing day, because with God you have everything. So we definitely need this. We definitely need to set this fire. We need to keep expanding this spiritual fire, because if we don't, of course, the bad things are going to happen, and we don't want that. So we definitely need this revival. We definitely need this fire. We need to enlighten this fire. We need to get stronger, and just keep on pushing, keep on moving, but always remember to have God first in everything, because He's the one that will set your fire.
Listen, you guys, everybody that's watching, and I want you guys to engage with us. We got like about 20 to 25 people, a little bit plus, because we got people on YouTube as well. I want you guys to interact with us in the conversation in the comment section, just like Michael, just like Zaymara, everybody that's on here. Interact with us in the conversation. Let us know if you agree with it, or if there's something you want us to bring up. But going into what we were just talking about, and low key guys, these guys play music, but they low key got a word in them. So watch out. Those people that say music play, Don't ever say that because they got
Amen.
in their belly. I'm just saying that
Amen.
right now.
especially the old Emanuel. That one.
Hallelujah.
Hey,
You got a word. Like you came out
Hmm.
Paul, when he went away.
Amen.
But going into that, and you said something very interesting. That before there's an awakening, there's always a fire.
mm,
If we really think about it, before there is a great revival, there has to be a situation before it. There has to be, and what do I mean by that? Well, in the time of Azusa Street, right? In the time of
Hmm.
Azusa Street, we can see that there was a crucial time that even though we were living the United States, we were in a time of racism, of bigotry, of Jim Crow laws going on throughout the land. That that still didn't stop a revival to take place.
Mm.
Let's think about that. There was persecution. Now, a lot of people think that revival is just speaking in tongues and being filled with the Holy Ghost. That doesn't.
no.
Revival can also be a sense of salvation being taking place in the
Mhm.
midst of the nation. That can also happen. We can see that in the Bible when persecution was going on. When it came to the early church, they were being persecuted, but the gospel was still being spread.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, when there is a revival, it's because there's been a story behind it.
Mm.
Let me rephrase that. Before Emanuel de Jesus became Emanuel de Jesus had to go through a process. Before Henry, Emmanuel, whoever, whichever of us, before we were in the place that we are at right now, we had to go through something ourselves. Before we were filled with the Holy Ghost, something had to happen. We had to go through the fire. And during this pandemic, many people and a lot of us is the question that we were asked in a pandemic. Why do we need a revival? Well, some of us need to be reminded that our God has no limits when it comes to a pandemic.
Yes.
Mhm.
If we notice during this time, and I'm gonna slow down here because I'm not trying to preach because we can if I
Go
go
ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
Preach it, brother. Preach it.
Preach it, man.
if we notice during this time of a pandemic, people have put God in a box. People have put God in a room, thinking that COVID is over God,
Mm.
thinking that the emotional distress that's upon the people is over God. And we forget that the Bible actually says that He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Letting us know that if He healed a disease 100 years ago, He can do it again. So, what are your thoughts about that? Do you after the fact, after we receive the revival, after we receive, where should the church be going towards now or after? I should say, not now.
Mm.
You got us thinking there.
Um, yo, that well, first of all, I think that going to what you said first, um, how come that revival always comes, after a crisis? And I think it's because God is attracted to brokenness. God is attracted to broken, humble people. And there's something about us human beings, and it's that we're prideful by nature. So sometimes crisis come, and it's a way, for circumstances to humble you. And let's be honest, sometimes it's only through crisis that we recognize that we need God to help us.
Yeah, like
So that
It's
is
true.
when that is like a green light for God to say, okay, you know what? Now let me come in to do a revival. Now let me come to visit my people. So I think the world, it's set up for a revival right now. Why? Because everybody has been humbled by this pandemic. Nobody has the answer. So
Definitely.
it's necessary for everybody to turn, back to God and recognize that, the only answer is coming from Him.
Amen.
Now, where's the church heading after this? I like something you said, that revival, it cannot be only about speaking in tongues and the way you feel in the moment. I feel like revival has to be something that breaks out, in your chest, and starts, changing the reality around you. I like what you said about it has to be translated into salvation, right? I feel like the true revival is not the one that, oh, estamos sintiendo aquí en la iglesia, we're all speaking in tongues, but it has to be translated into salvation.
Yeah.
How are you changing the community around you? How's
Right.
the church impacting, those who are in need? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I said, how is the church impact?
Yeah.
Because we can have good equipment, but are you impactful? That's the real question. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Also, with this whole pandemic and everything, being from New York, it's fast paced. You don't have time for anything. You work, you go to church, just sleep, whatever. And now, like the good a good excuse that everyone would use, even me sometimes, is, oh, I don't have time, no tengo tiempo.
Mm.
But now we have plenty of time. So that's something also that we have to look at as well. And I agree definitely with what Emanuel, the older one, said. I definitely
Oh,
agree with everything he said.
Emanuel,
Yeah,
do that.
that one with this screen, right? No, this one.
Oh,
Yeah,
And like the song says from Giovanna, interrumpe mi vida. We sing it
yeah,
and all, but we don't really know what it means. And the Lord has really
yeah,
interrupted our lives. And I'm not saying in a bad
yeah,
way. Sometimes the Lord has to bring us through a crisis for us to really like open our eyes and like cry out to him and ask for his help. Like a lot of people with no work, a lot of people, not able to pay their rent, not able to do this, not able to that. But the Lord has shown us through all this his love and his mercy. And like that's why it's necessary sometimes all these things for the Lord to do
yeah,
to open our eyes and to like make them seek him more.
yeah.
And I bet you the Lord doesn't want to do all these things, but like sometimes we force him. Like Henry said, I'm from New York
yeah,
City. High paced life. This is a high paced life city here. And like you're constantly on the run. You're driven to make money. You're driven to ambitions for this, ambitions for that. But truly the Lord has to interrupt our lives in order for us to realize that our salvation is more important than anything else in this world. And through this pandemic, I've learned this in the name of Jesus.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you know,
and that's
focus on him.
you know something. God has to. I'll say,
Go ahead.
God has to break you to
Amen.
build you,
yeah,
and that's something a lot of people don't understand. I'm gonna say that again. So,
Say it again. Say it again. Say it
Yeah,
again,
brother.
preacher.
Woo.
Preacher, preacher,
hey,
preacher,
Go
preacher.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
tírame un
brother.
código ahí, hey,
God has to break you in order to
No,
build you
for
up.
real.
You
For
know,
real.
yeah.
yeah,
At my job, someone said it was in Spanish. They said, "Oh, I see that a lot of people put their faith in the government than on God." And I'm like, you know what? That is true. You really got to see a lot of people put in their faith in the government, like they really forgot about God. And it really tells you that we live in a very corrupt world in the sense that the devil will put an obstacle in your face, in your eyes. He will hide it so you don't see the truth. And that's
yeah,
something that we don't see a lot of times. And us Christian ourselves, especially those who are newcomers and we're trying to understand the word. But this is what he said con la canción Interrumpe mi vida. We have to break that barrier. We have to break that bondage. We have to. This
Yeah.
is where you have to have a constant communication with the Lord. If you break with that communication, you're going to see a lot of things going wrong in your way. This is where the revival comes in. This is where the fire has to come, because God is the only one that will give you what you need, especially in this pandemic. In this pandemic, I know a lot of people didn't get to work. Some people were lucky to work. Blessed those essential workers as well. And I was one of those people that I didn't get to work. And, not to brag, but God had my back. God helped me. Why? Because it was hard at first with this whole pandemic, but when you have faith on God and know that you have to be still to know who is God, I'm telling you, He's going to give you everything what you need. If you believe, if you give everything, trust me, there's nothing in the world that you can't get from God. So that's my point of view from that.
Can
yeah,
I want to say something, and I thank God for for Ismael saying what he was saying, because I'm going to be transparent. And I like Zaymara, who is a faithful supporter of our ministry, who's always on. Zaymara, the Revival Staff, Zaymara. You guys know who she is. She's top number one fan. That's what Facebook says now. But she said she's in connection with what we're saying. God has to interrupt your entire life.
Yeah, man.
I want to be transparent with our followers, our supporters, who have been there for us and have made all of this possible with what we announced probably an hour ago. I want to be honest with you guys. I was frustrated when it came to COVID canceling a lot of stuff. A lot of you guys don't know this, but we as a staff, we have meetings about revivals. We've had meetings throughout the pandemic trying to plan out, especialmente Ismael, he knows definitely we've spoken up to like the midnight hour trying to plan a few things, what we're going to do, how we're going to do this. And he can be one of the biggest top witnesses with his wife and my girlfriend and Thuli as well. I was frustrated when it came to all of this. I was like, God, you told me by the 5th year we were going to go to New York and we were going to do it, and that got fulfilled. We had such and such sponsorships, and that was fulfilled. And then COVID happened. Sponsorship went through the door. We had to cancel 2 out of our 3 guests from doing that. We had to dismantle a few departments and a few ideas. And Henry, Chris, and Emanuel know this as well. We had to literally restructure everything from our ministry. But one thing I said in our meeting that I will never forget is that when I was thinking, when we were strategizing, and I have 4 people from our Revival family that won't let me lie to you guys when I say this. I said this in the meeting. God had the sponsorships leave. He had people go through out the door. He had partnerships go out the door. He had departments go out the door. That way he can say, I've supplied your needs.
Amen.
Amen.
Because just to let you guys know, we're not backed up by a denomination. And we're transparent. All of the people that are on here, that are watching us, that are commenting, you guys know we're truly transparent. We are not backed up by a single church. We have not received, and we're not saying this in a bad way. We're saying it in a good way. That even though we have not been yet, I say yet, have not been backed up by a church, by a denomination, by an organization, God has given us the grace and the favor in a pandemic.
Hallelujah. Yes.
So let this be a testament to everybody that's watching. And after this, I'll let anybody bank off this. Let this be a testament that even though you are going through the desert, God will supply your needs.
Amen.
And not because of who you are, not because of the title that you have, but because of your faithfulness. When you are faithful to God, when you're faithful to the calling that God has put over your life, He will supply all your needs. Somebody go up. I'm done talking.
Hey,
Yeah, brother, preacher.
yeah, preach it.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going. Oh yeah, it's okay. Keep going. No,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say this real quick. I talk a lot, guys, so you can stop me.
don't worry, I'll take you out.
I'm not talking now. No, but having those late night calls with Emanuel talking about revivals. It was tough. It was really tough. Looking for decisions, looking for a confirmation, looking for this, looking for that, looking for new idea stuff that he said we had to cancel. But it's like you said, always remember that this famous saying, when there's a will, there's a way. Y si es palabra de Dios, it's gonna happen. God will make a way to make things happen. Because si es para la gloria, it's for the glory, so people can see His glory. There's always a way to see it. Even it has to be via Zoom. Really, see how Zoom just became super ultra famous and just got worldwide.
I wish I created Zoom. I would be rich.
We would have been doing it now, but But you get what I'm saying? There's no such thing as an excuse. There's always a way to do something. Even if we don't have, let's say, the funds or whatever it is, there's still a way for something. Even if it has to be on a really bad app to get people to watch on, let's say on Facebook, Instagram, you will still see the glory of God and it will be manifest. This
Yeah.
is something that people have to start, analyzing, because people think, oh, we need to go to a church. No, I'm not saying that we don't have to, but in this type of pandemic, it was extremely hard to really go to a church because, of course, if they see you, it's a big fine, and there's some stuff that's out of our control. Pero realize there's a post on Instagram that I saw that the devil said, "Oh, every church is shut down," but God said, there's churches opening inside people's house.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
You saw it,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. There's always a way. There's always
Yeah.
a way for it. So this is where you have to have your faith up, even on time like this, extremely hard and tough. You just got to keep believing. You got to keep just having your faith on God, and just exactly. You got to put God first, and I'm telling you, everything will go right. Just like Brian.
No, and definitely, look, nobody likes being interrupted.
No.
Right? Because everybody has a vision, and
Yeah.
in your vision, like let's say, everybody has a vision, right? So in the vision you have, you think you have the best. You think you're trying to do the best, but God always has a higher vision for whatever that you're planning to do. And I feel like this applies again to Paul, to the story of Paul, right? Because he had a vision. He thought he was doing something for God, and then God comes and he's like, "Yo, you have the best intentions, but I have something higher for you."
Yeah.
And I feel like right now the church is waking up to the fact that we're living in a different world, right? We're waking up to the fact that now evangelism has to be done in a different way. Services, like, let's be honest, most of our churches were not really out there in online ministries, but now every single church is doing broadcasts, every single church is doing
Yeah.
online services, and all of this is serving for the advancing of the gospel. um yeah, so definitely, even though we may have a vision, God always has a higher vision than us, and we just gotta trust that whatever that happens, he's still in control.
Amen.
Preach it, sir.
Amen. Amen.
Listen, I want to put two things out. Our brother Carlos, who's part of our Revivers family, is watching. Shout out,
Carlos.
Carlos. We love you, bro. Ay, se fue Henry. So we gotta get him back. I don't know what happened, but when he comes back, we'll put him back on. But I want to put this comment up. That Zaymara. There we go. He's back.
I don't know what happened.
She says God needed this to happen in order for the ministry to truly trust and solely depend on God alone.
Amen.
Let me let our supporters know this. If you guys did not know this, let me tell you this. For the past 5 years, this ministry has started, when it comes to our budget, at zero. Let's be transparent. Can we continue, team? Can I say this to the people tonight? Like,
Appreciate it.
so
Yeah, brother.
we've been at zero.
Hey, caballero.
Supplied our needs. God has supplied our needs. And I love what Emanuel was saying. God has something better. God has something better. We may not understand it right now, but God always has something better for our lives, not just ministry wise, but for our family, but for our personal life, in our jobs, wherever we are. You can be from an ordinary member all the way to a bishop.
Amen.
God always has something better in store for each and every one of us. And baby, don't stop it. I'm not trying to preach right now. He will show his favor in less than 4 hours.
Hey,
It was less than 24. It was less than 24. It was like 8 hours. 8 hours. 8 hours.
8 hours.
If you guys want to sow into Revivers, you can do so right now. The cash app is on the bottom. Just letting you know. But for those that don't know, we were for the essential things that we needed to do for Revival. We were and there's our secretary, Lindsay Santana, who's watching. They won't let us lie, and neither will our team on here either. Unless we were about $300 short from supplying financially our essential things for the virtual experience of Revive Us 2020. We put out the campaign. Before we put out the campaign, $300 came in. After that, we put out the campaign. In less than 8 hours, we were already at $1,000.
Praise God, amen.
We were already at $1,000. And you guys, and there's probably some of those haters on here that are watching. You know, the spectators that are always watching Facebook Lives. They're like, they haven't posted in a long time. Let's see what they're talking about. They might have to cancel. Let me tell the spectators tonight.
It's a go. It's a go. It's a go.
That Revive Us 2020 will not only be live virtually, but if you would like to be part of the live audience, we have limited seating, and you can go register right now on our website. And let me let you know this as well, spectators and haters that were watching us, that wanted us to fail and wanted us to fall. Esta obra no es del hombre, es del Señor. This what we are doing here is not of man. This is God's will. And let me. That's right. We serve a God of the impossible. Let me tell you this: everybody that's watching, whether you have a business, whether you have a ministry, whether you pastor a church, whether you're a director of a ministry in your local church, if you're the head of a department in your local church, let me know this: that when you are faithful and you are sowing faithfully into the kingdom, and when God gives you the vision, your own pastor can walk away from you, your own denomination can walk away from you, your own family can walk away from you, your own parents can walk away from you. Everybody can let you alone. But if God gave you the vision, if God gave you the purpose and the dream for you to execute that vision, don't be afraid. Keep doing it. Don't be afraid, because we are a testament. Not Emanuel De Jesu. We are a testimony of God's favor and grace in a pandemic.
Amen.
Yes.
And if you want to sow, there's the cash app on.
$sign Revivals. Come and sow.
If you guys really want to be yeah, God is faithful. If you guys really want to come to Revive Us, I want to let you know this, and we'll continue the conversation after I give this quick announcement. We are having a live audience, but there is a limited number. God, should I say the number? Yes, I'm going to say the number. Only 50 people can be in the live audience. The church can hold up to 700 people, but we are only allowing 50 people to be part of our live audience. There's already been 7 people registering in the past hour. 7 people have registered already. Therefore, that means there's only 43 seats left in the live audience. If you want to have, of course, we're going to have social distancing, the guidelines and everything. So you won't be close to anybody. The only people you'll be close to is the people you arrive with. But just to let you know, if you want to purchase a ticket, it is free. We are doing that for free. Can we praise the Lord for free grace? Huh? Free grace. And receive the free grace. You can register for free right now and purchase a ticket. If you have a party of 4, they all need a ticket. 1 ticket is per person. If you don't have a ticket per person, you will not let in. Everybody needs a ticket. So go right now to thisisrevivals.com and register so you can be our live audience. Only people from New Jersey, Connecticut, and New York. From those 3 states only. Let me put that out there right now. From only those 3 states. I'm not going to get into why, because I think we all know why. But only from those 3 states. So, guys, what do you think? Are we in good shape? Are we in good shape?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The Lord is backing us up. He's opening doors where there was no doors, and full floor.
Listen, I'm gonna just say this. Let me tell you, he won't just open doors that are closed, but he'll make a door where there was no doors.
Amen.
There wasn't a door there.
You know, I think there's gonna be a breakthrough. there's gonna be a breakthrough in the revivals, bro. I feel it. There's just, when you just like when you have this feeling that God is like He's just gonna do something so crazy that it's just gonna like something is gonna happen, bro. And honestly, people should be there, even if they don't get to get a seat. But when they see it on live, man, they're gonna receive a blessing. They're gonna receive a blessing once they start seeing the preacher. Wonder who's gonna be that preacher when they.
I wasn't even laughing at that. I'm looking at text messages because people are texting me about that they're going to register now. I wasn't even.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's even good. That's even good.
Full screen. Let me put you full screen.
Why you have to put me in full screen?
Ya, brother, sigue fluyendo, varón.
Sigue,
No,
sigue fluyendo.
Fluye, varón.
No, there's just gonna be a breakthrough.
Amen.
You can feel. Why you took me off? All right. No, don't put me. Nah, there's gonna be a breakthrough. Honestly, in my church, I just feel like there's just gonna be an explosion, but an explosion of spiritual wealthness, spiritual, a life. So the same feeling how I'm feeling, I think is gonna happen for revivals. It's just gonna blow, man. It's gonna blow for beautiful things. There's gonna be a lot of fire there. There's gonna be a lot of fire there, bro. I feel it. I feel it. I don't know if you guys feel it, but I feel it. Do you guys feel it?
Amén, varón. Amen.
I feel it in my belly. It's fire in my bone. Just
don't-
Jeremiah said it's like fire. Shut up in my bone.
just don't throw that towel, bro.
Listen. Hey,
El pañito de la unción.
Emanuel get prepared. He got his preacher towel. Let me see the preacher towel. Oh my God. Listen, guys, if you have not, if you want to keep seeing this, if you want us to, Lindsay says, I feel it. I feel, not feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really feel it the same way. If you guys don't know, the theme for this year is an awakening. Little did we know that it was also connected. God inspired us spiritually with this theme. We don't just pick a theme to pick it. We pray about it. And David Wilkerson, believe it or not, said that a great pandemic would come upon this land and cause an awakening throughout this nation, starting in the state of New York. And I believe that after August 29th, thank you, Holy Ghost, after August 29th, we shall see a breakthrough, not just spiritually, but financially in churches, of innovation taking over in our churches, of breakthrough in our churches, that not just our denomination, but other denominational churches will receive a breakthrough and will be in a different place than they are today. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, and if I'm not mistaken, Emanuel was talking about this. This whole pandemic has pushed us to go into a new age when it comes to transmitting services and having a presence on social media. And I was hearing our friend Mark Moore last night, and he said something. I gotta give credit to who credit is due. That way, you guys don't feel like Emanuel said this. I did not say this. Somebody else said it. He said that the question of will the church go back to normal is wrong. And let me explain this. He said it's wrong. Why? Because the church is always evolving. The change is always in a positive way. The church is not the same way like it used to 100 years ago when the pandemic happened in 1918. We don't evangelize like they used to. But this that's happening right now is pushing the church to shift. I'm going to ask you guys the question, and I might get some of you in trouble, but don't worry. Send your pastor to me. Let me. No te escondas, Ismael. Ismael, no te escondas.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Is it true or false? True or false that this pandemic has pushed our churches to go on social media when before the pandemic they didn't even want to have a Facebook account.
Yeah.
That's true.
Can you repeat that again?
Oh, you
That's
know,
true.
It's not for me. It's not for me. It's just
uh, I was asking. Hold on, I just lost my train of thought. Let me say this again.
As the pandemic has
Hold
pushed us.
on. Wait.
Yeah. It was something about Facebook and
I
pastors. Yeah.
saw this comment.
Tread lightly, Santana. Tread lightly.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking.
Bro, you've been exposed, man.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
Bro, just press the mute button.
Wait, hold on. That way he's not part of this. Let me just take him out.
Oh, where's Ismael?
So before this pandemic, is it true or false that this pandemic has pushed pastors to make a social media presence when they didn't even want to?
Good
That-
man, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot.
In
I
general, yeah. In general.
can I be honest with you? From somebody that works on social media, you know how many requests I've gotten when it comes to social media, and I'm over here like a year ago, people were like, "Eso no importa. That doesn't matter. Social media doesn't matter when it comes to church." Now a year later, we're over here like, "Oh, we need to buy this camera. we need to buy this. We need to buy this software. We need to." And let me let you know this: that this pandemic has not only pushed the lives to change in a few things, it's pushing the church as a whole to have a positive attitude when it comes to having church. Now, that being said, I want to ask our panelists this question. I don't know where that cracking noise is coming from. I don't know where it's coming from, but we rebuke that cracking noise in the name of Jesus.
Just mute yourself, guys. That's it.
Yeah, just everybody on mute. There we go. Okay, I want to ask our panelists, and one by one, you guys can answer this. Emanuel wasn't there last year. He was added to this to the staff this year recently, so he can probably talk about maybe recently what he's felt of being part of the Revivus Ministries in the past few months. But for those that were there last year as well, what has been your experience with Revivus Ministries?
Should I take it on? Take it away?
You took yourself off mute first. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, my experience has been, this is my second year participating, and I've been truly blessed, to be honest. I've seen the move of God and the way the Lord has, I admire, Emmanuel, for the glory of God. I'm not here boasting men, but at his young age, he's accepted God's calling. A lot of people, you don't see that nowadays. People want to be, want to be devoted to the Lord. So when I saw that, and I saw the way the Lord was backing him up, and the Lord permitted me to be part of it, and it's truly an honor. And I've been truly blessed and looking forward to revive us this year, God willing. That's been my point of view on that.
For me, I definitely like the part that has blessed me the most, and I like the most about it, is that it's not stuck on one thing. There's a variety. You have it's not just people from one church or from un concilio. There's a variety. Hay una variedad de todo el mundo que está alabando a Dios, todo junto. And I played last year, and it was an amazing experience. It wasn't just like you're on stage and you're just, in el pulpito and you're just playing, but like you feel God's presence as you're playing with every song. Everything that happens is just amazing, and it's just a pure blessing, definitely.
I guess it's my turn, or Emmanuel.
Not me.
I got to play my first gospel over there for the first time. But
your first praise break. Your first praise break.
Stay right, brother. Stay right.
He's still learning.
I'm still learning, guys. I'm still learning the do. My experience with Revivus, it happened last year. it was something phenomenal for me. Um, the way I just got in was like, I don't know. It was like eso fue de Dios. It was from God. Um, being the bass player for Revivals, and having Chris on the piano, Henry was playing electrical the guitar at that time. Um, it was amazing. It was something different. It was just different, and it just it impacted me a lot. There's one thing that I will share. This I I had a breakthrough there. One of my passion was I always wanted to dance just like David did with his art. So I always wanted to do that with my bass. I'm always playing like this, like if I'm stiff. But then it's like you see me dancing, moving in the spirit with it. And that never happened to me before. And it was an amazing feeling, the preaching, having Matt there, having the young pastor, what was his name? Garcia, right?
Yeah, Michael. Gar-
Marco Garcia. It was just phenomenal having the sisters as well there. The team, the staff. It was just incredible, and that was just only the first year. Now, guys, imagine being part of this and going with us and the other upcoming years, and you guys being part of it. You guys are gonna have an experience, a testimony that you guys are gonna share. And from my point of view, I'm telling you, it's something that I don't regret. I want to continue. I'm gonna help, be an asset to this team, and I'm gonna let God use me in many ways, so I can, also help my fellow brothers, and they can help me, so we can grow spiritually, and we could start breaking a lot of barriers. Start breaking it. Just start breaking and start sharing and start expanding. That's my point of view.
Okay, so now's my turn.
you're the only one
Oh,
because I can't talk. For 5 years.
uh, well, yeah, as you said, I guess I'm the newest one from the staff members that are here right now. And last year I remember I wasn't able to make it to the location, but I watched the entire revival from my house. And bro, I remember I was watching it and I felt the Holy Spirit in my living room, man. And never in my wildest dreams I could ever imagine that in less than a year I was not only gonna be able to attend this year, but also be part of the staff that is gonna be serving. And that's an like I just can tell, and not only to you guys, but to everybody that is on our audience right now, be always available to whatever God puts in front of you,
Yes.
because you never know when where your yes is gonna take you. You never know what God is gonna do through that yes. Yes to serve, yes to sow into someone else's ministry, yes to do whatever He puts in front of you. And man, I could say so many other things, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say them, to be honest. uh
Then just in case.
Hurry, text them.
Text me quick.
oh, I can't because I'm connected through my phone. But what I want to say is that never put limits into what God can do through you. Be always open minded and available. Sorry, what do you say?
I think I know what you were gonna ask about. You can say it.
I you can Okay. So because when you guys talked to me about joining the team, you guys told me about playing, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like I could definitely worship with you guys, and it's an amazing time, to just fellowship with other musicians and serve other people. But bro, after saying yes, through prayer, God starting talking to my life. I remember one day he woke me up at night and he's like, I need you to do to sow this amount of money into this ministry. And I was like, God, are you sure? He's like, yes, go for it. So I remember I texted you in the morning, and I remember you told me something. I don't really remember it because it was a long time ago, but you told me something like you were praying about it before. And just to see that, because never in my life I imagined that playing at this revival was going to lead me to do God's will in something completely different, like for example worshiping God through my finances. For example, saying yes to not only serve as a musician, but like do other things, for this ministry. And I can definitely tell you that I don't regret saying yes in any type of way. And honestly, this was a huge experience for me. And we haven't even done the revival yet. And I've learned so much. So yeah, definitely, if I can take something from all of this, is always be available to whatever God wants to do in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna say something. Going off with what Emanuel was saying, and um, you a lot of people have asked me, Emanuel, how are you organized? How did you get this staff together? How did you get these group of people together so quick to help you with what you're doing? God will order your steps and put the right people at the right time. Because never did I know in my wildest dream. Emmanuel and I know each other since like what, 2016, 2018?
Yo, I met you when you had a mustache and I didn't have one. And guess what?
Look me
Hey,
up. Look me
You
up.
gotta post that picture, bro.
Emmanuel, you can't expose me like that. You can't expose
You
me.
gotta post that picture, bro.
I have one there. I'll post it later.
Oh, definitely okay.
Tag him. Tag him.
I think it was Assembly 2016.
It was Orlando.
Maybe. Yeah,
Orlando.
in Orlando. Yeah.
So we met, and never did I. That was 4 years ago. Never in my wildest dream did I.
Five.
5 years ago? No, that
Yeah,
was
5. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. That's 4.
2020. Come on, man. Stay in the spirit. Stay in the spirit with me. Stay in the spirit with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. No, but never in my wildest dreams did I think that somebody who I met and then recently moved to the East Coast, because he wasn't here. He was in the West Coast and he moved. Never in my wildest dreams did I think Emmanuel would be working with us. Never in my wildest dreams did I think Chris, Henry, or Ismael or anybody on our staff would be working with us. And this is because of a yes, because they were willing, not only willing to say yes to a call, but or yes to a vision. Because let me remind our viewers, they said yes not because they know me, but they said yes because of the vision. They saw the vision first. I never said, "Hey, can you do me the favor?" I said, "No, this God put this in my heart. I want to do this. I want to do this." And they won't let me lie that before I spoke to them and I asked them if they could, I showed them the vision first. And I want to say this, when you are allowing God to place your steps, to allow him to put you in the place that you need to be, he will take care of the rest. That's why I have this staff, this great staff. There's only 4 out of what, 15 to 16 people of our staff on here. And I want to say publicly, and I know I've said it in meetings and I've said it in private, in our private sessions when we're meeting, but I want to say publicly, I could not do it without these guys and the rest of the Revivus family. I could not be able to work how we're doing Revivus now without each and every one of them, because if it was by myself, I don't know how I would be doing it. I don't know how I would be doing it. So from publicly, I want to say I am thankful. I'm grateful. And I'm actually thankful to God that I said yes to him. That I said yes, because when you say yes to God, he will place the right people at the right time for you to have people to execute the plan and the vision that he has put in your hands. And with that being said, I think we're about to send this. We're about to close this out because I know it's late. It's getting late. But I do want to announce before
It's
we.
not that late. It's not that late. It's still daytime.
Oye, es porque ellos viven en Nueva York, mi gente. They leave in New York. They leave in New York. Oye, so I can't talk. I can't multitask. But I wanted to bring somebody on here. I want to text him real quick. About still free. He is a very very strong supporter on a down low, and I want to bring him live. He was supposed to be on here, but he's still not free. So we're gonna leave it. Check us out in 2 weeks because he's gonna be on with us on a podcast with me and him, just me and him. We're gonna be live in 2 weeks. But next week, we're going to have preacher talk. We're going to be talking about stories that preachers go through when they're traveling. Next week, we have Samuel Ortiz, Moises Santana, myself, and most likely we might have somebody else that started with us when we had this podcast. I'm not going to say the name because we have not confirmed yet.
Yo
Like,
tengo un hermano.
huh?
I have a brother, a long lost brother I ain't knew about. His name is Santana too. His last name?
Oh, Moises. Oh. No, 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 no. He's not related to you. Trust me, he's not related to you. I can tell you that for a fact. But before we close out, is there anything that our panelists want to say to the people before we end this live about Revivals 2020?
I just want to say that people don't know this part. Um, this ministry with Emmanuel, at first it was difficult for him in the sense that you didn't have a lot of help, and it just shows you that when you have a vision and that vision is God, and you let God to continue pushing that vision, God is gonna help you build that. It's gonna help you. I don't want to say build the empire, but just build the right. Let's say the right church, the right foundation. Understand? Because that's how God works. When God sees a humble heart, when God sees that you have His vision in your heart and you're trying to mold it, of course, we fail. We don't have always the right procedures for things, but God helped out Emmanuel a lot in this. And guys, always give your support. This guy is amazing. I'm telling you. We honestly we just actually got to know each other. When was it? Like last year?
Yeah, like a year ago.
We basically talked like we knew each other for like what 20 years. And it just shows you the relationship. It shows you like those late night calls that I have with him. This guy is amazing. This guy has a lot of ideas, a lot of stuff that he wants to bring out. But of course, he can definitely not do it. He can't do it by himself. He also going to need your help. He's going to need your support. And always reach out. Always reach out. Send some love. And keep him in his prayers. In your prayers, his prayers. We're all going to pray for each other.
Amen.
Amen.
Anyone else have any final words before we end the live? Nah.
Come check us out.
Wait, we have an intruder. We have an intruder.
Oh.
Hold on, wait a minute. We have an intruder. I know where that's coming from. I wonder if she's gonna come on. Hey, there's our secretary.
Hey.
Yes, I do stay up all night working. Yes, I always stay up all night working. For those that don't know, I sometimes go up to like maybe 4 a.m. During this quarantine, I go up to 4 a.m.
He will call you at 3 a.m.
Stop exposing. All right, Henry, what you gonna say? Henry, you were gonna say something?
Yeah. I was just saying to everyone out there who's watching in the area to register on time. Just stay looking at the social media. Estén pendiente de todo lo que hay. Like, subscribe, and it's down there still, right? The Cash App.
The Cash App. As a matter of fact, let me put it even bigger. Now that go so right now.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Go so right now.
Right there.
There it is on your screen.
Follow,
So revive us.
and turn on the notifications bell. That way you get notified whenever there's a post.
Yes.
Come out and support us. Love you guys. God is gonna do great things.
Yeah.
And I believe in this ministry. We all believe in this ministry. And para el cielo que van, para adelante.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
Santa.
Eso de Dios.
So I want to say thank you to everybody, to our panelists, to my Revivers family, my Revivers brothers. We will be bringing them back. This is not the last time. We're going to be bringing them back because, as you can see, they low key have a word. They can start. They can start anything. They can start a fire.
The old Emmanuel can. That guy could preach.
Emmanuel.
Hey.
has a word. Like you want to preach. You need, when this quarantine is over, you need to get to your church for a 4-day revival. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that. But
Amen.
each and every one of you guys for coming on. Thank you for coming on. If you guys have not shared the flyer, go share it now. Remember, there's only 50 seats available. There's already 7. Actually, let me put that because 2 people just registered. There's only 41 seats left. That quick, the seats are going out. There's only 41 seats left for our live audience at Revival 2020. So if you want to go to Revival 2020, you better go right now and register at thisisrevivals.com. It's on the bottom of the screen. Go and register. Thank you guys so much. Share this video, share our content. We love you guys, and we thank you for your support. And we pray that the same favor and the same grace that's upon this ministry, that the same God that is served, that has blessed us during a pandemic, is the same God that will be blessing you from today and on. God bless you guys.
God bless.
Amen. God
God
bless you,
bless.
everybody.